The conflict between Robin Brown's kids and the rest of the Brown family has been one of Sister Wives' most prominent stories throughout the years. Robin, 45, was the fourth wife of Cody Brown. 55, a polygamous patriarch, Cody was already married to Mary Brown, Janelle Brown, and Christine Brown, and had 12 kids by the time she joined the Brown family. In 2010, Robin joined the Brown family in 2010, along with her 3 children from her former marriage. After then, Cody and Robin had 2 kids of their own. Cody had 4 wives and 18 children when the Brown family had finished expanding, but the good days were short-lived. Cody's first 3 wives had left the Poly family by the time Sister Wives Season 19 debuted in 2024, leaving him and Robin in an inadvertently monogamous marriage. Robin believes that her children have been abandoned by their siblings. Because the Brown family is so split apart, continue reading to find out more about how Robin's kids felt ignored by the other Browns, and why Madison Brush, one of Cody's elder kids, recently apologized to them. Robin's children were difficult for Cody's kids to accept. They were not raised together. The Browns' once happy family's demise began when they moved into separate residences. Since his kids thought Cody was spending more time with Robin and her kids, there was also a lot of animosity toward him. The COVID-19 pandemic further exacerbated the family's already severe division. Eventually, Cody and Robin stopped seeing Cody's older children since they were more careful than the rest of the family. When he passed away in 2024, Cody was unable to communicate with his 25-year-old son Garrison Brown because things had gotten so awful in the end. CO caused Christine, Cody's third wife, to leave. Christine had been miserable, but she decided it would be best for her to leave after Cody and Robin refused to let her see his other spouses. After 27 years of marriage, they had 6 kids together. Cody was married to Janelle for 29 years and had 6 children before she left him. A year later, Mary, Cody's first wife, was the last to go after 32 years of marriage. And one child, she departed in 2022, Cody took in Robin's kids. They never felt accepted even after he gave them his name. Robin's 3 children from her previous marriage were all younger than 10 when she wed Cody. In 2010, Cody's first wife, Mary Brown, was divorced in 2014, allowing him to legally wed Robin and adopt her children. Eventually, Brianna, Aurora, and Dayton switched from Jessup to Brown as their last names. Robin's children didn't have the same experience in the Brown household as their siblings, despite being welcomed by their new family. In a recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Cody disclosed that he met up with Christine's kids in Utah. Mary has since discussed how she always thought the divorce would be short-lived. The Sister Wives Season 19. Star had thought that Cody would remarry Mary and divorce Robin when the adoptions were finalized. Cody chose to remain married to Robin instead. Regarding the claims of neglect made by his older children, Cody has consistently maintained that he should be spending more time with his younger children. Let's just say that a lot of his older kids didn't agree. Cody eventually made contact with some of his older children. After years of separation, in a recent episode of Sister Wives Season 19, Cody disclosed that he met up with Christine's kids in Utah. Cody has not maintained contact with his other children, with the exception of his daughter, Michael. T. Brown. 2 of his sons from another mother were present. According to Cody, this might refer to Logan Brown, Hunter Brown, or Gabriel Brown, Janelle's sons. It's wonderful that Cody is at last beginning to heal fences after a prolonged period of losing touch with several of his elder children. The reason Madison was sorry to Robin's kids? I have nothing against you over the years. Cody has had conflicts with numerous members of his family, including Madison Brown. His 29-year-old daughter, born in 1995, Madison, sometimes known as Maddie, was just 15 years old in 2010 when she made her broadcast debut. Given that her family was disintegrating the Sister Wives season, 19 co-star essentially became an adult on TV, and it couldn't have been simple. And if I've ever done anything to hurt you, I'm sorry. Maddie's connection with Robin and her kids wasn't always the best. Much like the other older siblings, the mother of 3 expressed her sadness for Robin's kids. In a recent Sister Wives Season 19 episode, she continued by saying that she would immediately apologize to Dayton, Aurora, and Brianna if she were to sit down with them. Unfortunately, it is ironic that this didn't occur until long after the family had disintegrated. I'd be like, I have nothing against you, and if I've ever done anything to hurt you, I'm sorry. Despite the fact that Sister Wives Season 19 is already in progress, there are indications that the unscripted series may not return for another season. The show provides an intimate glimpse into the lives of a polygamous household, and debuted in 2010, Cody Brown, the patriarch of the Brown family, had 4 wives and 18 children by sharing their tale. The Browns, who belonged to the extreme Mormon group known as the Apostolic United Brethren, hoped to dispel social stereotypes and legitimize polygamy. Cody had to manage complex emotional and practical relationships while being officially married to one lady and in spiritual unions with the others. The show's appeal comes from its ability to combine the particular difficulties of polygamy with domestic normalcy. It documents commonplace events like child-rearing and managing the home, as well as conflicts like jealousy, unequal treatment, and financial hardship. 3 of Cody's wives had divorced him by the time Sister Wives Season 19 premiered in 2024. The show's plot now revolves around broken family ties. As a result of this change, the emotional toll of the family's breakdown and Cody's distance from some of his kids are highlighted in recent seasons. Continue reading for clues that the show is coming to an end. At last, Mary let go of Cody for far too long. She clung to hope for religious reasons. Mary decided to live in a plural marriage from the beginning. She and Cody, who had a single child, had a difficult time keeping their marriage together. Mary and Cody had ceased living together as husband and wife several years ago, and Cody had been candid about not finding her attractive. Cody was careless and casually harsh, but Mary stayed because she was prepared to take his leftovers. Mary was the most neglected of Cody's wives. She never wavered in her support of him, though she even introduced Cody to Robin Brown, his 4th wife, and urged him to pursue her. Since she was a strong believer in the religious doctrine of plural marriage, Mary tried to make it work even after Cody told her that they would never be married during Sister Wives Season 19. Mary gave up on preserving the marriage. There's one less motivation for the show to come back. Now that Mary has gone on Robin, and Cody will remain monogamous. I don't want that headache. In a recent Sister Wives Season 19 episode, Robin and Cody discussed their thoughts on polygamy. Cody gave a considered response when Robin asked him if he missed being a member of a polygamous family. I don't want to be flippant with my answer because we were devoted to this, but I'm not interested in plural marriage anymore. Cody responded afterwards. He told the cameras, I don't want to pursue another woman because I don't want that headache. The questions, the struggles, the wonder about trust, I'm not in that space in 2021. Following years of neglect, Christine ended her marriage to Cody. Cody said that he has no regrets about growing up in a pluralistic household. Although Cody was close to his children as they grew up, he seldom ever communicates to several of his older children these days, according to the Sister Wives Season 19 star, who said he views his children as a blessing. Some of Cody's older children became resentful of their father after he married Robin because they felt abandoned by him in the world. Christine found her place polygamy to monogamy. Her transition. Cody's wife, who was always the most envious, was Christine the Sister Wives. Season 19 star desired a tight relationship with her spouse since she was a sensitive romantic. Christine disliked being a 3rd wife. Despite having grown up in a polygamous household after Cody married Robin, whom he appeared to openly prefer, things became even more difficult in 2021. Following years of neglect, Christine ended her marriage to Cody soon after Cody's 1st wife. Mary Brown and 2nd wife Janelle Brown also left him, simply said the show can no longer concentrate on polygamists. Christine was taking a tremendous risk by leaving Cody. The cosmos rewarded her courage shortly after she left David Woolley, and the Sister Wives Season 19 star were married in October 2023. Christine finally has the life and marriage she has always desired, and she and David are monogamous together. She and her spouse remodel Arabs, ride motorcycles, and get matching tattoos. She has no need to continue acting as though she comes from a plural family now that she is no longer involved in polygamy. At last, Janelle is creating the life she has always desired. She established a business after relocating to North Carolina. Janelle was fond of polygamy. In contrast to Cody's other wives, the fact that Cody wasn't there every night pleased her. She liked the liberty and self-reliance that the way of life provided. Janelle found Cody's disregard for their kids intolerable. Logan, Maddie, Hunter, Garrison, Gabriel, and Savannah Brown are the 6 children that Janelle and Cody have together. The children were close to their father while they were young, but as they grew older, that changed. Cody shifted his attention onto his younger kids, including the ones he had with Robin. The family became very resentful. As a result, Janelle might decide her time on the program is finished. Now that she is headed toward her ideal life, now that her marriage to Cody was over, Janelle needed to examine her life critically and choose a new direction for herself. Janelle had made the decision to seek a new career as a flower farmer, since she loved gardening. The Sister Wives season 19 star made the decision to launch a floral shop in order to be close to her daughter, Maddy Brush. Her husband, Caleb Brush, and their 3 kids, Janelle purchased property in North Carolina. Janelle might decide her time on the program is finished, now that she is headed toward her ideal life. There has been too much tragedy for the Browns. Everybody needs a new beginning. The untimely death of 25-year-old Garrison Brown in March 2020 completely upended the Brown family and the Sister Wives' world. Garrison, a young guy who had been dealing with mental health challenges, was Cody's kid with Janelle's son. The Browns have found it difficult to cope with the massive loss. Since losing Garrison, it makes sense that people would connect the show to their loss. They could wish to get away from unpleasant memories connected to Garrison's passing. The Brown children did not choose polygamy. It's possible that the show has reached its inevitable end. Not one of Cody's offspring has chosen polygamy, but many of them are married or in committed relationships. When 22-year-old Aurora Brown Robin's daughter joined a church during Sister Wives season 19, she wanted Cody to assist in her baptism. The family celebrated with meals following the baptism. Robin expressed her disappointment that none of their children had joined their church during a confessional. Robin admits, "I do feel like we failed during her confession. Neither Cody's children nor any of his ex-wives appeared to be interested in pursuing multiple marriages." In summary, Sister Wives was supposed to be a show about a polygamous household. However, the show no longer features any polygamists. Robin and Cody are monogamous and have no intention of taking on additional wives. Neither Cody's children nor any of his ex-wives appear to be interested in pursuing multiple marriages. Even though it's been fascinating to witness a polygamous family breakup over the past few seasons, the unscripted series might have come to a natural end for many years. The tense relationships between the youngest wife's children and the rest of the large family have been one of the most well-known and tragic stories in the world of polyfamilies. The youngest wife, who joined the family much later than the others, developed a sensitive and complicated relationship with both her own children and the siblings who were already there from the patriarch's other marriages. For a man who had previously established a large family with 3 other women, this wife was the final in a series of marriages. The man had a dozen children from his previous marriages. By the time she entered this multiple marriage, she brought her own small children from a previous relationship with her. And shortly after, she and the patriarch added 2 more children to their household, a large and complex family tree spanning several homes and numerous relationships. The household had 4 women and over 20 children. When the family's numbers were full, this larger family initially appeared to be the epitome of plural living, vast, cohesive, and interconnected. However, problems were simmering beneath the surface. And as the years went by, the family's cohesiveness gradually broke down. In more recent years, the formerly close-knit family has become considerably more dispersed. The patriarch and the youngest wife were in an unplanned monogamous relationship. After the first 3 wives all chose to leave him, the youngest wife's children felt cut off from the other half-siblings as a result of this change, which fundamentally changed the dynamics of the family. The youngest woman expressed intense grief and annoyance, believing her kids had been abandoned while the others looked in. We will examine the emotional divisions within the family, the layered conflict surrounding the youngest wife's children, and the recent attempts at reconciliation by some of the older siblings, including a sincere apology from one who had previously been estranged in this in-depth analysis, the difficulty of combining offspring from various marriages, the challenge of completely integrating the youngest wife's children with the other siblings has been one of the main issues this polyfamily has encountered. The youngest wife's children never quite gained the same footing or acceptability because they were brought into the family later and were not raised with the others. A widening emotional gap was reflected in the physical distance as the different family members moved into different homes over time. As the elder children's animosity increased, the once peaceful relationships started to exhibit signs of strain. Many of them believed that the father was showing his youngest wife and her kids more love and care. Feelings of neglect and resentment were fostered by this view. These rifts deepened as social constraints and isolation brought about by the global health crisis came. The patriarch and youngest wife were even more apart from the older siblings as a result of their more circumspect behavior. Contact and visits decreased, creating a gap that appeared insurmountable. Sadly, this separation also affected a son who had already struggled to keep up a contact with his father, resulting in estrangement before to his premature passing. In addition to making physical separation worse, the pandemic acted as a trigger for the Pye family's slow breakdown. The third wife finally decided to leave since she had been dissatisfied with the family circumstances for a long time. The knowledge that the youngest wife and patriarch had severed relations with the other wives, indicating an irreversible change in family allegiances, prompted her to make the choice. She made the decision to move on after decades of marriage and raising 6 kids together. Shortly afterward, the second wife did the same, abandoning 6 children and almost 30 years of marriage. These spouses' departure marked the end of an era for the family and was extremely sad. The extent of the split was further highlighted by the fact that the first wife, who had been married to the patriarch for more than 30 years and had 1 kid, was the last to leave the family. Legal adoption and the children of the youngest wife's complicated identity. The youngest wife's 3 children from her previous relationship were all under the age of 1 when she joined the household in order to legally marry the youngest wife and move forward with adopting her children. The patriarch formally divorced his first wife a number of years after they were married. The children were given his family name and an official position within the family structure. As a result of this legal action, this act represented formal unity and acceptance, but the emotional reality was more nuanced. Even though they shared the family name and lived in the home, the adopted children frequently felt alienated. Their interactions were colored with a sense of distance and disconnection because they did not have the same childhood experiences or upbringing as their half-siblings. Although they were formally welcomed by the family, it became clear in many instances that their relationship was not as genuine or strong as that of the children who had been raised together from birth. The children of the youngest wife experienced a special and agonizing dilemma. Although they were officially members of the family, they felt alienated in real-life reconciliation efforts and persistent disparities in an effort to patch up the strained relationships. The patriarch has recently made an effort to get back in touch with some of his elder children, recently met up with the kids of one of his ex-wives in a state with mountains that is famous for its breathtaking scenery and outdoor pursuits. An important step toward mending long-standing hurts was this reconnection, but it was also evident that a lot of the relationships were still shaky. The patriarch acknowledged that his connections with many of his other children had been strained or had completely deteriorated. With the exception of one daughter who had kept in touch more regularly, he added that there was potential for mending ties, because 2 of his boys from one of the ex-wives attended the reunion for many onlookers, hoping for reconciliation. The patriarch's initiative to reconcile after years of alienation was a positive sign, a formerly estranged daughter's apology. A girl born in the mid-1990s who had grown up in the spotlight as part of the family's broadcast journey had one of the most moving moments in this continuous family drama. She was catapulted into the spotlight as a youngster after seeing her family's hardships on national television. It was difficult to grow up under such public observation, particularly as the family's cohesiveness started to deteriorate recently. This daughter, who is now a mother, expressed remorse and sadness over the treatment of the youngest wife's children by herself and her siblings. She expressed a genuine wish to make amends and understood the hurt her younger half-siblings may have had from being abandoned on the sidelines of family life. In an open discussion, she said she would offer a direct apology to her younger half-siblings if she had the opportunity to sit down with them, stressing that she had no animosity toward them. She stated that any hurt was never deliberate, but was profoundly regretted, and she indicated a desire to mend old wounds. This sincere apology was an uncommon display of openness and evidence of the family's ongoing protracted efforts to mend fences. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Get more updates daily.